And welcome to Lakewood Ranch in Florida, the premier sports campus for the 2019 United States Australian Football League National Championships. This is Women's Division 1, Pool B, between the New York Magpies and the Portland Sockeyes. I'm Peter Holden from Women's Australian Rules Football Radio. Great to have your company, I guess, for my fourth national tournament, but a person that's been here many times before and represented both sides, now, of course, playing for the Texas Heat. It's a very good morning to the one and only Heather Serpico.
Good morning, Peter.
Great to have you here, Heather. You've obviously had a history at both of these sides, and you played in the first meeting between these two sides at a national tournament last year. It was a big 5th versus 6th clash, in which, when you were playing for Portland, you got the chocolates in a close one over the Magpies.
Yeah, it was a tough, hard-fought win by the Sockeyes, but it was a great one. It was a lot of fun. It was nice getting to come back and play against the Magpies finally. It took a few years to do it, but we did it. So it was a good one.
It's very interesting if we look at these two sides and the histories they have at nationals. New York's always had a lot of numbers. They've had up and down form throughout the year at Eastern Regionals and a lot of local play. For some reason over the last 3 years, mind you, they've had a lot of rookies. It just hasn't quite stuck for whatever reason at nationals for the New York Magpies. If you look at their scorecard, yes, they've lost the games, but they've never been thrashed. They've always lost close ones. The defence has been good. There's just, at least in years gone by, something up forward hasn't quite clicked at nationals.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. I mean, they've had some incredible forwards out there. You've got some veterans that have been playing for, 7, 8, 9 years more, with Kim Hemingway, with Samantha Wolf. So you got Claire now out there kicking goals and doing it. I'm not entirely sure why they haven't clicked lately out there, but I have a feeling it's going to change this year. I've seen the roster, and it's a lot of veteran talent and new talent. So,
well, it's been the opposite when it comes to regional and tournament play for the Portland Sockeyes. They can have patchy form throughout the year, but seem to turn it on. There are a number of Western regional titles, whether by themselves or teamed up with the likes of Minnesota or LA. As we've seen, 3 Division 2 titles in a row, which you were a part of. They made the step up last year to Division 1, finished 5th out of 6 sides, but in a very similar way to how Seattle made the grand final. 1 win in the debut year usually opens up greater things.
Yeah, it was a tough one. We lost a real close game to Minnesota last year that would have really kept us in contention. Then same thing with Denver when we played them. Going against D1 competition for the first time with a full side, I really think Portland held their own and showed that they are D1 quality team.
Tell me some of the American stars on the Portland side. We know, of course, they're 2 gun Australians, Lucy Parrington out of Melbourne, as well as Simone Shepherd. Simone, on this very ground, which we called 3 years ago, kicked, I think, 4 or 5 goals and a half of football, in which you won. We don't have a team sheet, so we're calling off the phone for the moment. This is, we're just waiting for the team sheet to officially arrive, but Simone Shepherd kicked 4 or 5 goals in that first half of that game. You won by about 7 or 8 goals against the Montreal-Boston combination here 3 years ago. We know that she can be dominant, but who are the Americans around them that are going to complement them to at least keep Portland in the game and hopefully, for their point of view, trying to beat New York again?
I mean, we've got some homegrown talent there with Lauren Williams coming on about 2 years ago, and she's just been fantastic. She's a speedy midfielder and plays on the wing. I assume she's playing on the wing right now. Yep, she's playing on the wing right now. She's incredible. Just really, nope, never mind. She's playing in the mid.
Mind you, when we say there's no wing, because we are playing 16 asides,
yep.
No wings. That's
no wings.
Like
yep.
AFLW.
So so Lauren's vying for the Freedom team. She's just super speedy. I mean, you can see it right now. She got really great awareness of the ball. So just having her get out there. Then you've got Yui, who just had an incredible tackle right there. That was Yui.
Well,
Olivia?
yeah.
Sorry for the say. We've got Olivia Arretez. She's fairly new to the Sockeyes. I mean, she's been around the club for 2 years now, but moved out to Ireland. Has been playing footy with some of the Irish ladies since, and she had kind of picked it up, kind of tagged footy in Australia when she was studying abroad. So we got some really speedy talent in our midfield, which is amazing. Yeah, it's been great.
So we are underway in this contest. The umpire's blown the whistle and pulled out a free kick early, and it'll be going the way of the Portland Sockeyes. They're going to left of screen. If you look at the flags in the background, the wind is actually maybe a 1 to 2 goal breeze going to the left-hand side. So let's see if the Sockeyes can use that early on. Kick towards the centre half forward position on that occasion.
Yeah, that was Tanya Fox giving that boot. She's one of our Australian.
Yeah, got her as number 9 on my sheet, but clearly wearing the number 6 there. Going across then is Mcferrin to try and pick up the football. She got knocked over in the contest. Sockeyes still keeping alive here at their half-forward flank position. Going to ground and fighting hard there for it. Lauren Wims couldn't get it out. Now here's a chance here for the Magpies, and that is Bowl. Went without the football, though. Nearly kicking in danger going off the carpet there. The 24 for the Sockeyes. Here's the hurry kick that is very high. One bounce, doesn't go out, stays in play here. Trying to fight for it there is the number 20 in Butler. The umpires called for the ball back and for a ball up. Now, we do have to apologise. We normally get the team sheet before the game starts. We haven't got it, so I'm calling it off my mobile phone and having to zoom in, and all the numbers are out of order. So this will make things very interesting. Going in the ruck there for the Sockeyes is Brandy Machado, of course, is wearing the helmet. In goes Lucy Parrington, who shrugs off one tackle, gets on the right, try to kick it around the corner to go backwards, to go forwards, if that makes sense, towards the true centre half forward position. Coming in to pick it up there is Weaver, who went without the football. Ball got knocked backwards. Here's the hand pass out. Bowl was waiting for it, but they couldn't quite get it to her. It's been knocked along the carpet, wanting to go in there and try and pick it up. Bailey. Now here's the kick off the ground for the Magpies, trying to work it towards the wing position. Butler goes in there. Butler fighting hard for the football. Goes to ground. Butler wants to try again. Scrapping, fighting for it near the centre circles. Umpire blows the whistle, and we're going to call for a ball up. Some early impressions on the play.
Yeah, a little scrappy right now, but you know, I'm seeing some positive, getting that ball out. Positives right there. You know, they're doing their best to clear it. It's a big field.
Grace Coplow tried to get a hurry kick there, went nowhere. Ball still on the ground, and are they going to try and hatch it out? Simone Shepherd waiting for the ball to come out, doesn't do so. Almost going without the football there, Danielle Gallagher, sister of Elise Gallagher of the San Francisco Iron Maidens. Now the ball moves towards the half-forward flank.
That's Grace Mcferrin. She's a first-year player. They picked her up a few months ago. She played at regionals. Really a great talent.
So Grace Mcferrin with the football is about 55, 60 metres out from goal. So this will definitely be out of her range. We'll need to try and square it up towards centre half forward. And it was a bit of a shame kick that worked out okay in the end. Find Olivia Arretez, who they're keeping an eye on. A lot of hype around her coming into this tournament. Olivia Arretez rocks back on the right boot. Pumps it long towards the goal square. One bounce. It will get through, though, for a minor score. And it's the Sockeyes who take the early lead, 1-0.
That was a great boot right there.
Had plenty of distance on it, and certainly worried the New York defence. New York actually haven't gone inside the forward half so far in this quarter, but we do say that breeze is going to the left-hand side. So they work it out towards the far side of the ground. Too much juice on the kick on that occasion for Algozin. Went over her head. Trying to run onto the football there was the number 12 and McHale. McHale's Navy trying to knock it forward, close towards the boundary line. Umpire says that's in the back, and that will be a free kick going towards the Magpies. So this will be their first opportunity to go inside their forward half. They look around. Here's the kick up the line. Looking again to find McHale, who pushed up the line. That's probably one thing that brought New York undone in the past. Again, they're good back line, but it was good to see from McHale actually pushing up the ground after getting rid of it to try and create the extra opportunities. And as we speak, it is turned over. Simone Shepherd back there. She is the wall, and she goes in the Machado direction when flying over her head, trying to bang on the back of it there. Mcferrin goes chasing after the football again, almost shoved her opponent off the football, then got brought to ground while trying to pick it up. Machado tried to go in and lay a tackle, wasn't successful on that occasion. In goes Lauren Williams. Straight the tackle here beautifully. One bounce and the ball didn't stick, but it came back with a hurry kick towards the centre half forward position here for the Magpies. Traffic jam of players, 3-on-3. It's, Hemingway went left and went right. Hemingway bumped for goal for the New York Magpies. And she might have just fell short on the distance. Then is dropped on the line. In goes Nat Wolf, try to go for a toe poke. It didn't go through. Oh my goodness. How the heck did that ball not go through for a goal from Kim Hemingway? I'll never know. It just held up with centimetres to spare. The ball is now back in the center of the ground. In goes Machado. Machado gets immediately ripped to ground. Ball cry the crowd. Umpire's not buying into it. Trying to lay on the tackle there is the number 32 for the New York Magpies, and we do have our team sheet now, thank you, in Kading, and we'll call for a ball up. Umpire gets play going again. Apologies for the scrambled start. If Heather can vouch, we were trying to look on a mobile phone to get the numbers. The team sheet was late. The umpire now coming in to say a free kick. They're just trying to confirm which direction it's going. It's going the way of Portland. And we'll wait for the ball to restart play on the far side of the ground. Long boot, I think.
Beautiful
that's Roberts.
kick.
Yeah, that's a massive kick. Shepherd trying to knock it to advantage. Close towards the boundary line. We'll go over and out now, and we'll call for a ball in. Let's talk about the Portland program for a moment, because when you originally went there, how many were there to start with on the women's side?
It was me and two others. Well, it was Jess Blecker, Simone Shepard. They are the original Sockeyes. They were the ones holding it together, and I just helped them boost it a bit.
And talk about a start to the program when you go, oh, just Simone Shepard and Jess Blecker. Simone Shepard, who rip apart tournaments. And Jess Blecker, as we know, played for Collingwood VFLW this year. Yeah,
Jess's story is a remarkable one. I mean, she took a chance. She headed over to the USAFL development program over to Australia, and she really did it all. I mean, she played up in the Northern Territory, played down in Victoria. You know, she's a perfect example. Like, you know, obviously Katie Klatt as well, but Jess really came into her own, and she came back last year for nationals, and she did amazing. She's absolutely fantastic. We miss her a lot.
Emma Kading has the football, and she works it wide, one bounce over and out. At the moment, last photos I saw, she was somewhere in Sydney, lapping up some time out there.
Yeah, I believe she's in Brizzy now, but she'll be back stateside in a few weeks. She's finishing up her tour for a bit.
As the ball is thrown back into play, Machado to go up in the contest, taken out by Nat Wolf, and here's the hurry kick up the line here.
There you go.
Oh, a bump
nice
on
Shepherd.
Parrington. She tried to go the Shepherd, but in the end, it was Laura Musser who said, I'm not buying into this, and just bumped her over the boundary line and out of bounds. The ball's thrown back into play. Taken out of the ruck here.
Great tackle by Olivia there. Great tackle by Simone. Not getting paid for it, though.
Because on my team sheet's got 34 Nat Wolf. I reckon Nat's got a bit of ink work. So that's throwing me who the 34 is at the moment. Here's the hurry kick.
That's Cricket Temple.
Ah, there we are. Thank you.
No problem.
As the ball is, umpire's blown the whistle and said that's too high. Get your numbers right, New York.
I mean, now that's quite the matchup. You got Kaplow and Shepard right now. That's a excellent matchup.
As Koplow in front. Umpire says a free kick. Simone Shepard smiles, going, come on. So
but I believe there was a bit of acting there, if you ask me.
Grace Koplow. We won't ask about that tackle, Heather.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Goes long towards the half-forward flank.
Beautiful spoil by
Parrington. Yeah, Parrington just came through at the last moment. Punched it close to the boundary line. Didn't go out. Now it will go out because it was dropped over the boundary line by Emma Kading, and we'll call for a ball in. Of course, we were mentioning earlier about Nat Wolf, who should normally be wearing number 99. And Nat Wolf, of course, is now the captain of the New York Magpies, taking over the captaincy from Drake Casillas.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I was unaware, but that's awesome. Makes sense. That's a great leader.
As the umpire blows the whistle and again calls for a ball up. And speaking of Drake Casillas, superwoman, because she came back to play a couple of weeks ago in that tournament against Denver and Montreal, 6 weeks after giving birth.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone needs to be more like Drea.
So when people talk about Daisy Pearce coming back after 10 months giving birth to twins, people are going, come on, Daisy, soft. Dre came back after 6 weeks. As Simone Shepard now has the resulting free kick here for the Portland Sockeyes in the middle of the ground and gets on the right boot. Elects to go long, very long with a kick. Just went through the hands there. Again of Tanya Fox, and it will be sent back. Only for Simone Shepard. Yep. Now going there with a hurry kick is McSky in towards the forward line. Awkward bouncing ball, trying to claim one through Machado. He nearly had a body count there for a moment, close towards the boundary line, and it is over and out. It's fine to say on here what numbers are wrong.
They're entirely wrong.
Entirely wrong? Fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm like, that's not their numbers. I played with them long enough.
Yeah, Oh, dear oh me. As
Sorry,
we-
I'll help you out there then. How's that?
Yeah, correct me as we go
There was
along.
quite a few shots at Siobhan McHale, and I was like, she's not 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
She's about 4 foot nothing.
As going in there, try and pick the football up off the back line. I've got it as Kaylee Johnson. We're in the 35. It's very important that you put down the correct numbers on the team sheet, boys and girls. Just remember that for the commentators next time around. As you go.
That's Zaya Maskai right there.
Yeah, Maskai went towards the half-forward flank position.
You were talking earlier about our worthy Americans on the team. Zaya's fantastic. You know, she plays everywhere. When she first started off, we had her in the defense, and God, she held that line in 2016. She did a great job back there her first year coming out to play. Zaya's a true Sockeye. She started with us. She's been playing with us since pretty much day one. So
I remember calling the name at several tournaments as umpire says a free kick given away there against Lauren Williams, going the way, according to my tincture, the 26, who we don't have on the sheet. Thank you, guys.
27.
27, thank you. That's why we don't have it on the sheet. Gray now goes towards the wing position. Lucy Barrington ends up cleaning up the mess here. Tried to go with a hand pass. And there's the kick going forward. See, there is a 26. I wasn't seeing things. As Parrington gets caught, umpire blows the whistle and says it will be a free kick going the way here of the Magpies. I've got 92 on my sheet as Jessica Johnson. As the kick up the line, trying to find the direction of Lucy McLeod. Umpire says we'll call for a free kick. Fine to say it on air, Heather. You don't need to find the microphone.
I believe 92 is Just Taylor.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
I'll be having words later on
Unless
to
they're
Christina
swapping jerseys and I don't know about it.
Yeah, I'll have words later on to Christina Licata. Get the numbers right. As the ball is marked by Kim Hemingway. And she takes...
This is going to be a...
She'll try and unload from the air. The umpire says, come around on your angle.
Completely makeable for Kim, for sure.
Of course, Kim, as we know, kicked 3 goals for the Sydney Swans in the exhibition game against the GWS Giants, the SCG. Kicks it long, doesn't quite get the distance marked on the line. So the score, as we still have it, 1-0. 1-0, that is Portland leading New York. Portland 1 and New York 0. That ball, of course, marked before the behind line, so that does not count as a score. It means a free kick being kicked away here by the Sockeyes, working it long and wide to Rebecca Dawson in her general direction, going after her. And seeing it over Grace Coplow, and we'll call for...
Dawson herself is a former Shockwave player, which is our Portland Shockwave, our local women's football team. American football, gridiron.
Gridiron, because there's a number of players that have crossed over, because we talk about like the likes of Amelia Carr, for example, for Seattle, who also played ladies football. As here's the hurry kick. Ball with the Magpies still on the far side of the ground. If they can get clear possession, they cannot. And that is Shepherd, who just kicks in the Machado direction. Ball bounced away from her. Going across to pick it up there, Tanya Fox. Fox had to outfox him. Got him towards the half-forward flank position. Machado comes in. Umpire says that's a trip. And it's going the way there of the New York Magpies. They'll have the ball at half-back. Low-scoring contest here. We're playing 2 20-minute halves, no time on in this tournament play. Here in Women's Division 1 Pool B. We'll have another Portland game coming up for you at 1 p.m. when they take on Minnesota Freeze. Ironic that we say freeze in these type of conditions, where today we're heading for about, I think it's 84 degrees Fahrenheit, which takes about 29 degrees Celsius. Umpires blowing the whistle and said 50-metre penalty because the ball was knocked away from the player. So we're just waiting for the players to realise that it's marched up the ground. Is it 50 or 25, actually, considering the adjustment here for American rules? It looks like it's 25.
Yeah, but we don't...
Here's the hurry kick. And flying through the air, taking a mark. I got as Jenny Bowler in the 75. And she is about 55 metres out from goal. Elects to run to the paint 50 metres out. Goes in the direction of Hemingway, who's sliding for the football. Got knocked away from her. Parrington had the football, then tapped it in front of herself. Look at the bump. Tried to put the shoulder in there. It didn't work out. Taylor wasn't buying it. And now having to go back and offer support, running over at them. McSky couldn't quite pick up the football. Parrington's waiting for it to come out, put her head over it, couldn't extract the pill. It went through her legs, almost got nutmegged in the end. And everyone's going to jump on the ball. Ball jumps on there for the New York Magpies. the one thing I am liking a little bit about the New York Magpies compared to years gone by, Heather, they seem to have opened up their forward line a little bit more, where in years gone by, they fell into the trap of a crowded forward line.
Yeah, it's definitely far more spread out.
As there's the tap by the Magpies. It was by Lockett through Casillas, who we were talking about earlier. And I've got this Kading wearing the 32, who now goes towards the centre half forward position. Here's the kick around the corner by the 26. We didn't have in our sheet. Could be Amelia. Surely not Amelia Arundel. As the kick towards the Hemingway direction. Shrugged off one. Hemingway for the goal, and she's got it. No, it's away to the left. And the umpire, well, the umpire's given an incorrect tap. What would normally happen in a scenario if you miss, the umpire taps their chest, which means missed away, but then he tapped his chest, then he tapped his hand, which is incorrect. Normally, if it's touched, you just touch your hands.
Got it.
So remember, tap the chest means the goal umpire says, it is my decision. The ball is away to either side, left or right.
Peter, I think you picked the wrong profession. I heard the umpires could use it for more hands.
As I say, I was 20 years and 50 kilos ago. As the ball is kicked long towards the centre of the ground. Now Machado tries to pick it up here for the Sockeyes. Ripped to ground. Now getting the hurry kick there. Cricket Temple intercepted. And Simone Shepherd takes the mark. So as we sit, the scoreboard is incorrectly showing 1 straight 6 New York, 1 behind Portland, but the score is actually 1-1. So let's repeat. The score is Portland 1, New York 1. It was not a goal. It was touched, according to the umpire. As the ball is now kicked towards the 50-metre arc. Umpire says there's a holding infringement. It's going the way of Kim Hemingway. So all tied up at 1 point apiece in this game.
Sarah Cabot, who was on Kim right there. She's fairly new herself. Probably didn't realize about can't grab the man when they don't have the ball.
And this little soccer off the ground job has gone through. And the goal umpire again gives the incorrect signal, but this time it's correct. It's a goal. That one to Lucy McLeod. The umpire tapped himself, which you don't need to tap yourself when it's a goal. You just give 2 fingers. Oh, dear oh me. So that means it is now 7 New York, 1 Portland. Repeating, New York 7, Portland 1. And for those playing at home who know the Aussie rule score vernacular, 1-1 to 1 behind. So 7-1, 6-point lead to New York here. Again, Hemingway being dangerous and being versatile. They've had her up at centre half forward. She's dropped back deep. You were talking about the player on her. She's getting a lot of work, being worked around by Hemingway, who's spreading her around the ground.
Yeah, she needs to get a little bit more hips on her, I think. But, you know, I'm sure they'll make some adjustments come the halftime.
Here's the ball now in the middle of the ground. Jenny Ball is almost going to get run down, but she got to kick away. Now it's just bouncing towards the direction of Clarence Gozin. Goes in and tries to get the ball out. Doesn't do so, and the umpire says Parrington has got it all wrapped up then. We'll call for a ball up. Parrington, of course, back home, played for the Port Melbourne Colts, who have now merged into become the Port Melbourne Borough, which Jess Blecker played 5 games for this year. Parrington swings around on the left boot, dribbles it up the line. Casillas with the war paint on as well, I notice. Gets on the right boot, goes up the line, through the hands there of the waiting Lauren Williams. Taken away there by McCulloch, who goes inside 50. Again, Hemingway lurks around, tried to lay the tackle, but the ball was already away. No, the umpire's called a throw. Interesting call, and that means it's a free kick here. And that's the player you don't want it in the hands of if you're the opposition. 45 metres out, maybe, actually considering the smaller ground, I'd probably say 35 metres out for Kim Hemingway. How do you rate her chances? Thank you very much, Heather Serpico.
We'll see what happens. Nah, I think Kim's got this in the bag. Yep.
And she's got it. Park that down for Kim Hemingway. She has her first goal. And the New York Magpies move to 13. And Portland are 1 behind. So that is 13 New York, Portland 1, 2-1, 13 to 1 behind as the siren, or the hooter goes, should I say, to signal halftime here at Pool B of Division 1, the USAFL National Championships of 2019. Heather, just from your quick observations, who are some of the players that were impressing you there on that first half?
Well, obviously Kim. I
Yeah,
mean, she
yeah,
was in the
yeah.
right spot, doing the right things. You know, when she was aligned, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, so we got Kim. The back line for New York was definitely keeping it together. Held them to one behind. You know, and gotta say, Portland's a lot of new players in that their back line as well. So it's nothing to be said that for them. The midfield going hard at the ball. You know, saw Lucy second and third efforts there. Lauren Williams has been up and down the field nonstop. Amon Weaver's stuck some nice tackles, and so did Olivia. So just all around a really hard first half. So looking forward to the second.
And just quickly, a very difficult position now for Portland because they only scored the one behind with the breeze in that term. Now the question's being thrown to them. They've got to score at least 2 goals going into the breeze and not allow any with the breeze for New York.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough second half, but you know, I'm sure they have it in them.
We'll take this opportunity to take a break here. You're on Go Live Sportscast, the 2019 United States Australian Football League National Championships. At halftime, it is New York 13, Portland 1. And welcome back here to the Premier Sports Campus in Sarasota, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Peter Holden with you on commentary. Heather Serpico has had to step out as we begin our second half call. And I will point out we've had a couple of number changes for the New York Magpies. We'll fill you in that very shortly. Chasing after the football, Danielle Gallagher. She's over the top of it, can't get the pill out. All wrapped up in there. Want to go in there as Weaver, couldn't find the football. Now is Parrington, who draw the play towards her, went with a hand pass over the top, then kicked on the right, went towards the centre half forward position. Hurry kick off the carpet here by the Magpies, putting it into the agency of Emma Kading, who gets immediately pulled down on that occasion by Petrie. Hand pass across to Simone Shepherd here for the Sockeyes, went to ground, tried to get the hand pass away. Umpire said she did so fairly. It is play on, little kick off the carpet, and Shepherd went back in for the second effort. Shepherd on the right boot, went in the direction of centre half forward, but it's Drake Casillas. That's the Magpies veteran who has the football, kicks it out towards the wing position. Nearly a clash of players there between Siobhan McHale and her own teammate there wearing the 32 and Emma Kading. They go up towards the half forward flank position, trying to find Laura Massa. Now Laura, of course, we should credit with that first goal for the Magpies earlier on. Kicks it in towards the forward 50. Parrington's going to clean up the mess here for the Sockeyes. Going for Shepherd, who slides on her knees to take the mark. Simone Shepherd at the centre half back position. Now gets on the right boot. Oh, dear oh me. She just easily picked out Emma Kading there. And Emma Kading comes in board, stretching there, taking the football. Jenny Green, who goes inside 50. Wasn't the greatest kick, but luckily for the Magpies, a free kick's been given away by the Sockeyes for holding. And looks like it might be Lucy McLeod wearing the number 12. Give the hand pass. Didn't hit. The footsteps are coming. Jeannie Green has run down. Sockeyes trying to get a hurry kick out there. Kicked it along the carpet. Didn't go too far. Putting her head over the pill there. Zaya McSky. In goes Parrington. Wanted to give the don't argue. Threw the football out, but the umpire said play on. Going in there is for the Magpie. Is Kading, who's picked up a lot of the football. Goes in the direction of Janie Bowl. Bowl got rid of two. Bowl got on the right boot towards the top of the goal square. Was looking for Hemingway, who's double teamed, and the umpire has blown the whistle for a free kick. Everyone's standing around going, who's got it? Until the umpire says it's going the way there of Simone Shepherd. So Shepherd at full back here for the Sockeyes again. The Magpies king with at least a 2, maybe 3 goal breeze. The breeze really has picked up here in the second half. At the forward 50, Parrington goes in there, can't get the football out. Just at the feet there of Holly Petrie. Going in there, Janie Bowl, who kicks it towards the pocket. Simone Shepherd is back there, and we'll take an easy mark. So Shepherd with the football now kicks up the line towards the half-back flank, broadcast side of the ground. Little hurried hand pass out, doesn't really advantage the Magpies. Cricket Temple gets a hurried hand pass going forward. Try to put it to the agency there of Emma Kading. Kading wanted to go inside 50, taken away though by Shepherd, who's racking up possessions in the back 50 here for the Portland Sockeyes. Cricket Temple with a hand pass over the top to Janie Green. Green with a flat mongrel punt towards the half-forward flank position. Going in there to pick it up there is Simone Shepherd. And off the side of the boot, almost towards the commentary position. 10 metres away from our cameraman. And the ball has gone out of bounds on the full free kick to the New York Magpies. Score check. It is New York 13, Portland 1. Repeating, New York 13, Portland 1. And of course, for those that follow Aussie rules, as you know, it's 2-1 to 1 behind. Is the kick towards the half-forward flank position. It was by Hargrave, but it has been picked off, and the Sockeyes will send it back. Going in the Machado direction. Gets a little nudge in the back there from Cricket Temple. Machado trying to give the shepherding work there as Weaver. Weaver ends up getting the football, and she went for the kick, and the ball was not there. There goes Parrington, who hand passes to herself. Almost a little throw. Umpires missed that. Ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds as Cricket Temple is cleaned up there by the Sockeyes player in Holly Petrie. And the umpire must have judged that being in the back. So a free kick here going the way of the New York Magpies. Temple with the football. Couple of steps and then goes long towards the half-forward flank position. Good battle going on there between Nat Wolf and one Simone Shepherd. Ball up the line. Petrie takes it again here for the Sockeyes. Half-back flank. Petrie with the football. Now goes towards the wing position. In goes Parrington. Parrington picks it up, gets on the right boot. It's a helicopter kick. It's close towards the boundary line. It was a tough decision there for Danielle Gallagher. Does she let it go out or try and take the mark? It was line ball, so she had to go for the mark and just came off the hand, so we'll call for a throw in. Ball is chucked back into play. Machado versus Temple. In goes Gallagher, put it on the right boot. One bounce towards centre wing position, broadcast side. Putting her head over the pill there, Rebecca Dawson. Can't get the football out. Trying to have a crack at it is Lauren Williams. Over around the pill. Going in there, Lucy McLeod. Fighting hard for the football. Umpire says, I'll take the football back. Jessica Johnson was there fighting on hands and knees for that one. Umpire throws the ball high in the air and away we go again. One out on that occasion by Lucy McLeod. Sent back from whence it came. Weaver up the side of her boot. Taken away here by Siobhan McHale. McHale's Navy trying to put it towards the centre half forward position. Taken away now by Jessica Johnson. Johnson wants to go inside 50 and finds Grace Coplow. Grace Coplow is about 45 metres out from goal, directly in front. 2 to 3 goal breeze at her back. Thought about passing it off. Elects to go for the kick. That's a beautiful kick. Straight over the goal umpire. And that extends the margin out to 18 points. New York 19, Portland 1. Repeating, New York 19, Portland 1. 3-1 to 1 behind. Wow, they've talked about New York being the dark horse of this tournament. Everyone said coming into this that San Francisco Iron Maidens, the 3-time reigning champions, were clearly favourites. Everyone was talking up, including myself, Minnesota, who had an unbeaten regular season schedule. New York's form had been patchy, but everyone said they've got a number of Aussies in their side and their squad runs deep. And they have come to at least the opening game of the tournament after a sluggish start and open up a 3-goal margin. And that's certainly going to be helping their cause. They have a break and they'll be playing a late game today about 4 or 5 p.m. against Minnesota. And how things are going, this puts Portland in an uncomfortable situation where they need to beat Minnesota in the 1 o'clock game, which we'll have for you to stay alive in the tournament, at least for the finals. Of course, there is a 5th versus 6th consolation playoff tomorrow as well. Coming away here is Jessica Johnson. Goes towards the half-forward flank position. Hand pass away by McLeod, working it sideways. Hurry kick now. The umpire blew the whistle. I think he might have... No, he's called for a ball in. I wasn't sure if there was an in the back at the last moment there as the kick was underway, but he will call for a throw-in around about 55 metres out from goal, going to the left-hand side of vision here on Go Live Sportscast. We'll have 6 women's matches for you on Go Live Sportscast today as part of the coverage of about 8 to 9 games here on field number 2. Then tomorrow morning we'll have for you from 8 a.m. all the semi-finals, the women's semi-finals across Division 1 and Division 2 for you on Go Live Sportscast. And then the grand final of Women's Division 1, that will be live on ESPN3. Now, it is geo-block, so if you're outside of the United States, you won't be able to watch it live. You'll be able to watch it down the road on a replay or follow it on social media for the scores. But if you're in North America, you can watch it live on ESPN3 at 3 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. As here's the kick towards the wing position again. And there's a bit of holding on going here. I think it was Rebecca Dawson was well and truly holding on to the player about 5 seconds after she got rid of it. That was a little bit too blatant. And that free kick will be taken here by the New York Magpies and the number 9 in Lara Massa, who, as we said, kicked the opening goal. Kicks the ball and will go over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in. About 60 metres out from the New York goal. Thrown back into play. One down by the player there on Lauren Williams. They go up the line. Standing tall there was Danielle Gallagher, who brought the ball to ground, lost it, then went back in for the tackle. Ball, they scream on the sideline. The umpire's not going to pay it. And he will cross himself and once again will call for a ball up on the far side of the ground. As the ball is thrown up and away we go again. Trying to get through there and got the hurried hand pass out of the contest was Ashlyn Gregg. Did okay and went up the line and found Kim Hemingway a long way out from home. Kim Hemingway is about 70 metres out. Elects to go with a kick, trying to find a lead to run into the football in the forward pocket. Coplow chasing after it. Not touching the ball before went out was Sarah Cabot, and will call for a ball in. So we're 35 metres out from New York's attacking goal, going to the left of screen with a 2 to 3 goal breeze. They've only kicked the 1 goal though in this second half. The kick going to be intercepted. Good mark running onto a Janie Bowl. And Bowl has the football. She's around about 50 metres out from home. Lets it ride! I think it got there, it did! Janie Bowl gets her first one in the Nationals. And the lead continues to open up here 25 to 1. New York lead Portland. That is 25 to 1. So Johnny Boll there with the goal for the New York Magpies. Goal kickers so far for them. Koplo has one, Hemingway has one, Johnny Boll has one, and Laura Massa has one. 25 to 1, New York lead Portland. As we restart play in the middle of the ground, Simone Shepherd has it. Kicks it on the right boot. Only gains about 10 metres. Ball still on the carpet, trying to fight her way through there. There's Jessica Taylor. Umpire says it's going nowhere and will call for a ball up and restart play. Beautiful service out here at the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. You can almost eat your dinner off of it. It's finely cut. Looks absolutely beautiful. Here's the kick out towards the wing position. Parrington tried to take him on and did so. Went backwards, hand pass to herself, then ran on and then finally got brought down. Tackling her, Janie Green. And it will be a free kick going the way of the New York Magpies from the halfback flank. They get on the right boot, heading in the direction. Was trying to find Johnny Boll, but it was intercepted and sent back from whence it came by Rebecca Dawson. Was trying to find Machado. Temple came through. Temple on the right boot. Tries to gain some length. Now want to chase onto it is Johnny Green. Johnny Green, oh, maybe too high. The attempted tackle. The umpire says, yes, you were trying to ride her like a Bronco, and you cannot do that. And that will be a free kick going the way of Green for the New York Magpies. Going in the Hemingway direction, who was on the burst. Went through her hands. Koplo still fighting. Gave up the hand pass to Hemingway. This is brutal. This is away for a minor score. 26 to 1. Just when you thought that there was going to really be the nail in the coffin then. Just missed then on that breeze. 26 to 1 New York lead Portland. Kim Hemingway just couldn't quite finish it on the angle there. But a great piece of play and some great strength shown by Grace Koplo. One does not simply tackle Grace Koplo as the kick is back into play. Parrington looking for the football. It's punched away from her at the crucial moment by Ari Lockett. Parrington goes again. Wraps up her opponent. On that occasion, Taylor Davidson. And we'll call for a ball up. We're about 52 metres out from the New York goal. They sit on a comfortable 25-point margin here. Ball is thrown up in the air. One out by Simone Shepherd. They're trying to get a little hurry kick around the corner. Barrington again going for it. Trying to get in there is Olivia Arretez. Arretez trying to do the shepherding work instead of going to pick up the football there. Arretez now gets it and then trying to get a hurry kick away, but was tackled well by Green. Intercepted. Now away we go again. Johnny Boll trying to move it forward. Close towards the boundary line. And the ball is adjudged to have gone out for a throw-in. Been interesting to see on the replay if that actually came off a player's shin there, because if it comes off a leg of a player below the knee and goes out of bounds without being touched, it is out of bounds on the full. So that was actually a pretty close call, but the boundary umpire was blindsided to that. Going in now is Cricket Temple. Gives the hand pass to Danielle Gallagher, who danced around Machado. And then kicks it in towards the central corridor. Going to be intercepted, though. Olivia Arretez is dancing around. Draw the player. Went to Zaya McSky. Then kicked it in the direction here of Lauren Williams, who was being rode there by Greg, who got it to Gallagher. Gallagher now goes up in the Hemingway direction. Hemingway was double teamed on that occasion. Going back there is Ferguson. Hemingway comes at her. Ferguson manages to knock the ball forward. Ferguson goes again. Hemingway has to fight two of them off. The cavalry arrives, including Lara Massa. And now here's an opportunity being dragged down. Did she get boots up ball? The umpire said did not. That's Hemingway who punches the ground. Not happy with the umpire. Hemingway, a tough customer, but also gets a little bit of white line fever at the same time. Spewing that she just took that half a second too much and then got pinned. So free kick here to the Portland Sockeyes. They have the ball here in the half-back flank. Later stages of this second half, we play two 20-minute halves with no time on. Of course, these shortened games compared to a normal, if you were back home playing state league football in the VFLW, we'd have 20 minutes in time on, or in the AFLW, you have 15 minutes of no time on, and then between the 15 and 17-minute mark, there's time on. But obviously, because we're in tournament play, we are trying to fit in as many games as possible over two halves instead of 4 quarters. Shepherd now goes in the direction of centre-half forward, trying to find Machado, bumped off of it by Temple. Kick away here from the Magpies, goes in towards the middle of the ground. They attempt to harass with this tackle. It doesn't quite stick. Going in there again is Green. She's been good today. Bowl comes in and lays a tackle. She's been having a blinder of a match so far. And Bowl just bounces off them. And then gets on the right boot. Then kicks around the corner, trying to get on the end of that on that occasion. But dropping it was Lucy McLeod. Chance now for the Sockeyes to go to Machado, who's been warned well by Temple, but Machado off the bounce, then kicks it into a very open forward line. There's not much on here. Casillas comes in, and then she goes in. 3 just bowled over each other. It was like 10-pin bowling. You got the first pin, and then the rest went down. And the umpire says that will be a free kick to the New York Magpies in the back line. I'll go very close towards the boundary. Sliding onto it there is Green. Janie Green with the football. As she goes up the line, Lucy Parrington tried to trap it at her feet. Simone Shepherd is there. Went with a hand pass backwards. One step and a big kick here by Holly Petrie to go towards the half-forward flank position. Ball is punched away. Dancing around, hurry kick. Shepherd picks it up, draws the player, goes for the hand pass, went into heavy traffic. Swinging by Algozin, can't pick it up. Parrington on the deck, tries to get the hand pass to Williams, who couldn't hang on to the pill. Hurry kick out of the pack, finding Weaver. Now Parrington picks it up off the deck again. Parrington still being worn like a glove, got it to Weaver. Weaver went towards true centre half forward. Having it there and being brought down, Jessica Johnson managed to get rid of the pill before being claimed. Johnson went again. Johnson kicked it in towards the central corridor. This is where the foot race is on. Coplow goes to ground, but managed to tap it to the advantage of Bowl. Johnny Bowl now moves it towards the centre half forward position. Coming through there is Kim Hemingway, who puts on a burst of speed, kicks to the pocket, there's nothing on, so she's got to rely on the bounce here. Trying to get back there is Roberts for the Portland Sockeyes. And the umpire says deliberate out of bounds. Your intent was not to keep the ball in play, your intent was to knock it immediately out, so therefore a free kick going the way of the New York Magpies. The player wanted to play on, the umpire said no, you have to come back behind your mark. So the score is not registered. Repeating, the score is not registered. Hargrave has to go back behind the mark. Even though there's no time on, when the umpire technically signals to stop play or stop time, you have to go back behind the mark and you have to go over the mark with your kick and until the umpire says players reset. So you see him raise the hand in the air, players reset. Hargrave doesn't go for goal, elects to square it up this time. Johnny Bowl tries to go in there, going in to lay the tackle there, Algozin. Ball spilled out. Bowl kicks it around the corner. It won't quite get the distance. It came off hands. Going close towards the boundary line. Doesn't quite go out yet. As Hemingway went to ground and Shepherd came through and took it. And then kicked it up the line. Just bouncing away there from Fox. Fox goes after it. Hand pass while under pressure here from Jessica Taylor. Taylor going again. Hand pass away to Green. Green now tries to square it up in the Hargrave direction. The ball got out the back. I think it might have been touched and they will concede a point. So a minus score there for New York. Score check, New York 27, Portland 1. Repeating, New York 27, Portland 1. For those keeping score at home, that's 4-3 to 1 behind. Goal kickers so far for New York: Coplow, Hemingway, Bowl and Musser. So we wait for the ball to be brought back into play. A one-sided scoreboard here. Portland stunned by the New York Magpies. I think a lot of people are going to be stunned by the scoreboard that New York have put on and say, well, people call them the dark horse. It looks like the threat is real. Going in there to pick it up and rushing through his Bowl. Swung it on the breeze. Marked in the last line by Lucy Parrington. So Parrington with the football on the last line of defence. Looking around for some options. Thinks about going to the outer side. Kicks it long. Just bounced off the leg there of a player in Massa. Wants to go back in again for a second crack at it. Immediately caught, and the siren sounds to indicate full time here at Lakewood Ranch in Florida. And it has been an impressive victory for the New York Magpies. They just didn't get a win. They made a statement in the first game of the Women's Division 1 for the 2019 Nationals. 4 goals, 3, 27 to just the one behind, 1 point. 27-1, the New York Magpies defeating the Portland Sockeyes. Portland, who'd reigned supreme in Division 2 for many a year, went up to Division 1 last year, as we mentioned at the top of the call. They got their win over New York last year, and I think everyone went, well, looks like Portland is a team to deal with now in Division 1, and New York have got a long way to come back from being the cellar dwellers. Well, they've made a statement of intent that they are here not to make up numbers. They are the real deal and will be a threat come finals football. One win on the board doesn't guarantee him a semi-finals berth, but with a sizable win, it puts them in a very handy spot. And you would suggest now that they will be fighting in the later game against Minnesota for either first or second spot in the semi-finals, and an interesting matchup who they'll have crossing over from Pool A. This, of course, I should mention is Pool B of Women's Division 1 football. Again, the final score, 4-3, 27-1 behind. Goal kickers here for you for the New York Magpies. Goals to Koplow, Hemingway, Bowl, and Massa. Stay tuned. Don't you go anywhere. You are listening to a Go Live Sportscast coming up for you very shortly. In around about 10 minutes' time on this stream, we'll have for you the Women's Division 1 game from Pool A. That is between Seattle Grizzlies and the Denver Bulldogs. Myself and Lawrence Kosnechny will be there with you. Then, of course, afterwards, on the men's side, we have a Men's Division 4 game here at 12 p.m. for you between Ohio Valley and Baltimore. Brian Barish will be calling that game. I'll join you again at 1 o'clock for Minnesota and Portland, a game that Portland must win to stay alive in the tournament. At 2 p.m., we'll bring you San Francisco and Denver. Some of you may recall 3 years ago in this very position, we called that San Francisco-Denver game on a Sunday morning, which decided the Division 1 championship and started San Francisco's reign and ended Denver's run of 6. Coming up at 3 p.m. in the men's, it's a North Carolina versus Baltimore Men's Division 4 game. At 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Women's Division 2 between the Texas Heat and the DC Eagles. And then finally at 5 p.m. Women's Division 2, Sacramento versus Philadelphia. That's what's coming up on the schedule. Don't you go anywhere. In 10 minutes' time, we'll have that next match between Seattle and Denver for you. You're listening to Go Live Sportscars via USAFL.com. New York Magpies, 4-3-27, have defeated Portland, 1 behind.